All right.
Will we be able to afford such a thing?
Perhaps with some negotiation, you might be able to strike some kind of deal. So Odysseus, um, do you want to part ways with your party? Aside from at Bethany, do you want to, or do you want to just think about it, or do you want to go gather knowledge somewhere?
We should probably go gather knowledge about these mines of sorts. Also, as for
Yeah.
payment, I do have some money in the bank we can use if needed be.
Ah, for purchase.
All right. So, yeah, Odysseus, his first turn, he's gonna suggest that we go find someone to gather information from. Bethany, you were ready to follow Odysseus on your turn. He's not leaving yet, but he's suggesting to, of course, gather knowledge. And then Famdo, for your turn, you were thinking about going out to find a group of miners to speak with. Um, did you want to act on
Yeah.
this, or did you just want to suggest this?
I would like to act on that, seeing as how we'd like to hire them as well.
Right. So, yeah, you look around. Naturally, the tavern sometimes has similar peoples, right, or very different peoples. That might include miners, right? You look around, and we'll roll to see if there are any in the area. For this, I would say, we're just gonna say the chances is 1 in 6 chance. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you look around the tavern this morning, and you don't see any miners here, right? So instead, you might have to
Ah, no
visit
luck.
a place that has miners, right? Like maybe there's a mining camp or workshop, right? Something like that you can visit in the town, right? Um,
Yeah, so if I don't immediately find some miners, I think I probably want to join up with the other two in the party and do some investigating with them.
right, right. You guys are together still in the tavern. So back to Odysseus, your turn again. Um, so you were thinking about gathering information, right? Um, you saw that Famdos with you. He's kind of scanning the tavern for any miners. Realizing there's none, he's like letting you know he's ready to move on and to investigate further elsewhere, right? So how would you like to proceed
Yeah,
for your next turn?
well, considering there's no miners, one, we can go down ourselves and mine, but that would be risky as hell as we're free people. So I would recommend we definitely go looking for something else. I agree with him on this.
Fair enough. Lead the way.
Okay, so
But that's all the alternative jobs at the moment.
Odysseus, for your action, for this turn, do you mean to go look for miners then with Famda, or were you just discussing the idea? All right, he's not certain.
Sorry, you can. I'm currently having customers and
Okay,
such.
yeah, no worries. All right, Bethany, do you have any other ideas or actions you want to take aside from waiting on Odysseus?
Is there a market here where I can check in if there are any caravans at the cards?
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to suggest this to your crew and make your way to the market in the town, or do you want to act on that?
Sure.
Okay, so suggesting. Okay, so Fando, Odysseus still needs a little more time thinking at the table. Bethany's making suggestions that we visit the market. Do you want to leave the tavern and begin looking for miners? Do you want to wait on Odysseus to finish thinking,
Yeah.
or something else?
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and look for those miners.
Okay. So you say you want to leave the tavern, right? You're out in the streets, and where would you go
Can
to
I say
find them?
something?
Sure. You want to?
Does he mention what he's going to do when he's leaving?
Uh, so yeah, Bethany, you kind of interrupt
That's
his
a good.
action, right? You're like, you seen he's about to leave. Uh, Fando, before you can
Where are you
leave.
headed?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, forgive me. I was caught up in my thoughts. I figured it best to locate some miners.
Oh, right. Maybe you could ask the blacksmith if he knows of any miners in the area you can talk to.
Cool. Where shall I find this blacksmith?
I don't know. Probably ask around.
All right. Hmm. Um, well, we're at a tavern, so the local barkeep should know. I like to, Famdo approaches the um, barkeep and asks him whether he knows the location of the blacksmith or some miners.
Alright, so as Femdal leaves the table after talking with Bethany for a moment to talk with the barkeep, Bethany, of course, you were in the middle of suggesting the markets, but you stopped halfway when Femdal started to leave. You asked him about, naturally, where he was going, and he changed his mind, and of course, he went off to the barkeep to talk with him. In the meantime, Odysseus, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back. Don't worry.
Alright, so you were thinking for a while, you were agreeing with what they were thinking about, right? They have made some more discussions, plans. Fondo's going off to the bar to talk with the barkeeper. Bethany, she might stay with you, she might go with Fondo, you're not sure, but do you want to keep thinking at the table or do you want to try something else?
I don't know if you heard, but I suggested that we go to the market and see if there are any caravans that need guards.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Let's find some guards or something. We are just 3 people, so it would be advisable to get some extra arms on this. We should go looking for some caravans.
Alright, so Odysseus, you've suggested to your crew that we should go looking for them, but what do you actually do? You want to just suggest this?
Considering the fact that I agree with her, we go and do her plan.
Okay.
Ming goes ahead and looks for the blacksmith to find miners, and me and I don't fucking remember her name. Goes looking for we go looking for basically guardsmen we can hire, mercenaries.
Right, so you individually though, right? You're going to the market now, right? So Bethany, you had suggested things to either party members, but you can see Odysseus is going, or is he leaving the tavern at this point, headed to the markets. Famdo's talking to the barkeep soon. Do you want to stay at the table? Do you want to go with Odysseus, Famdo, or something else?
I'll stay at the table.
Alright, Famdo, it's your turn again. You made your way to the barkeep. You strike up a conversation with the barkeep. It's morning, so there's no one here, really. What do you say?
So, my good man, can you tell me where can I find the local blacksmith? I have smithing that I need done.
Alright, and as you say this, we're gonna make a reaction check to see how he responds to your request. And he reacts negatively, or not in favor. He says, "Sorry, I'm not sure if I can help you. Can you perhaps be more? Can you go further in detail with what you're trying to ask?"
Well, would you then help me find the local miners, I don't know, barracks or whatever it is? I do have some mining that I need done. Nothing important.
He's not certain. He says, mining barracks, haven't heard of them. Perhaps you're looking to join a mining camp. I'm sure that there are some mining
Possibly.
camps to the north, but mostly to the northwest.
To the north.
The village of Easton is a mining settlement. They mine ore in those mountains and rocks and other sorts of valuable materials.
Very good. Istan, you say?
Yes, the
And
village of
also
Easton.
to the north.
I have not heard of any mining companies based out here in Down, but most of the mining companies are based out of Easton, the village of Easton. There are workshops here that are working with them and make purchases, right? but they are not exactly miners, right? They are just merchants and such, craftsmen.
I mean, thank you. Thank you for the information. I shall take that back to my party.
All right. In the
And I
meantime,
do. I immediately go to report these findings to Beth and Odysseus.
all right. So back to Odysseus. You've already left the tavern. You're out in the streets, and you're making your way toward the market. As you do this, you can see, of course, it's morning, and most of the townsmen are busy with starting their day of work. Right? There's all kinds of folk about in the street of Down. Uh, Down is, of course, mostly known for being a trading town, a trading settlement. So most of the people here, you know, they're carrying cargo, goods, and uh, there are, of course, normal craftsmen here and there, of course, but most people are very busy delivering equipment, goods, and supplies to various locations, right? At least those people in the street are, right? They're on their way to work, maybe they're carrying luggage, they're carrying goods. On your way to the market, there's a chance of an encounter.
Yeah.
Alright, you got an encounter. Let's see if it was
Is
in
it
your
the fucking
favor or not.
halfling from yesterday?
This encounter isn't quite in your favor. It
Oh, no.
goes against it, right? Against what you're trying to do. On your way to the market, you're held up by some guards as you're like walking through the town's streets. The guards hold to you, and they ask you, of course, hey, uh,
Yeah.
you wouldn't happen to be an acolyte of sorts, would you?
An acolyte of sorts? No, not really. Why?
Alright, they're not certain now. They're neutral to you now, so they say,
What, Ethan, I'm not lying, am I?
alright, sorry to bother you.
Am I an
There's,
acolyte or something?
Yes, you are an acolyte. Dungeon Master to player, you are an acolyte.
Yeah, oh, wait,
So
yes,
you
I
lied
am. Sorry.
to them. You lied. Oh, you say yes instead?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Alright. So you say, sorry, I am actually. And the guards, so they were confused at first that you weren't. And now that you said that you are, which is they were hoping for that, now they're confused and say, wait, you are or you're not? Why are you changing?
I apologize. I often forget things.
Alright, let's see how they react to that. They react uncertain, they're saying, alright, well, if you really are an acolyte, we're actually looking for an acolyte right now. You see, something very horrible has happened and occurred, and we're wondering if you can be of assistance. Can you read Holy Scripture? And Dungeon Master player, yes, your character can. Yes.
I can.
Yes, you're a cleric, so you can read
Yeah,
cleric scrolls.
Yes, I can read holy scriptures. What of it?
If you would not mind coming with
okay.
us for a moment.
Come along, yeah. I'll come along.
Alright. So, yeah, you follow the guards through the streets of the town. You were intercepted. It slowed you from your original task. Alright. Back to
Am I taken to be executed?
okay, Bethany, it's back to you. You're at your table. And let's see. Right now, I think Fundo is about to regroup with you. He just finished conversing with the barkeeper. So, do you want to wait at the table for him, or do you want to try something else? He's about to make his way to the table.
I'll wait at the table.
Okay, so for your turn, you wait at the table, and you can have a reaction turn since you're not really doing much. Fundo, you made your way back to your original table with Bethany. She's waiting there for you. And what would you like to tell her to do?
So Fundo explains to Bethany, according to the barkeep, the town of Ishtan should be the place where we can find some miners. He also suggested we could search to the north if we're feeling adventurous enough.
Well, that doesn't sound ideal. For Odysseus to return.
Where is Odysseus, pray tell?
He went to the market to see about hiring some guards, I think. I mentioned, we could find a caravan that wants to hire us as guards, but I think he misunderstood me, and I just let go.
Do you think we should go look for him?
I mean, he hasn't been gone long.
All right.
He hasn't had time to complete his task, so I don't see why.
We can wait for him here then.
And you can feel free. I'm gonna wait here.
Yeah, I shall wait with you. Maybe have a pint.
Alright, in the meantime, Odysseus, you follow the guards to the streets, and you made your way to a small and rundown home, and you find there it's an old man shaking in the streets, and he's being very hysterical, right? He's looking around, afraid, and the guards ask you if you can help this old man. He's causing a lot of ruckus, and he speaks of a great evil to the southeast approaching, right? And he wants to speak to a cleric or a holy man, and that's what the guards tell you. So the old man sees you and says, brother, help me, I had a terrible dream. Alright, so Odysseus, do you want to just stand there and look at him or something else? Oh, he might be working. Okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, the customer's he's muted right now, so it's probably okay.
Alright. We'll come back to him. So, Bethany and Fundo, you decided to just wait at the tavern for Odysseus to return. If you want, I can just tell you what's going on in the tavern in the meantime. Otherwise, is there anything else either of you would want to do?
Yeah, how much of time has passed since Odysseus has left?
Well, about 2
still
turns.
been like 10 minutes.
2 turns have passed since he's left, so about 20 minutes has passed.
About 20 minutes, okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah, we'd probably still wait, but I'd probably query that with Bethany in a turn or two. So for now, I'll sit tight.
Alright. Okay, so.
Right, so what's going to happen to me now?
It's your
I'm
turn
taken
again.
to the temple?
No. So, you're in the streets here, somewhere in the town, right? Among a bunch of homes, and you found an old and hysterical man in the streets. He has been, acting very hysterical and warning everyone in the town that something horrible is going to happen, right? He's going around, he's saying, save yourselves, leave now, right? There's a great evil approaching, right? I had a horrible dream, please believe me, right? And so he says to you again, right? Brother, please listen to me. Can you hear me? The great evil is approaching from the southeast. The old temple to the southeast. It has been reopened. Please, brother, help me.
So what does this man look like? Is he basically sick?
He's an old-looking man, and he looks very studious, right? He's got a beard. He is kind of crazy, like a hermit. He doesn't look like he's a magic user. He looks more like maybe a magic, or he does, not the cleric. I mean, he looks like a magic user, if anything, right? Maybe he's got knowledge, right? So he looks old and wise, but hysterical, right? He's telling you about a vision he had. He's saying, we must gather forces and prepare to defend this town and evacuate the settlers. I had a strange vision, a dream. It will happen soon.
What is this vision of, my friend? my brother.
The temple, it is has reopened. Monsters deep below are crawling out as we speak. Various cavern systems connected to the temple are reopening. A great evil approaches. I'm not sure how this was done, but the seal has been broken. The temple is evil and it is approaching. Right? You must help me to warn everyone. Go to your temple, go to your church. It has to be done, right? And the guards are so confused. They're like, do you really believe this old man? It cannot be true. A simple dream? What is he talking about? This sounds too weird, right? Both guards are just so confused. They don't believe it.
Well, I mean, he says there's underneath the temple there are open caverns to monsters and demons and whatever the hell I fight nowadays. If his visions are true, I could have me and my group go down there to check it out. If it's not true, we'll be fine. If it is true, I'll come back up and get you guys in gear and evacuate the town.
Alright, the guards are nodding. They say, you can check it out if you want, but is there any way you can stop the old man from going around and spreading false rumors? He's causing a panic in the town, right? The guards are frustrated. You can see like townsmen are concerned, townswomen, towns-children, right? They're getting scared because the old man is telling them that they have to leave their houses, right? They have to leave down.
I mean,
He's
if
like,
it is true, well, if I don't know if he speaks the truth. For all I know, he could just be experiencing things in his age, but better on the safe side, I would say. So we need to check it out. I'll go back to the tavern and get my group and see what we can get done.
the guard thanks you, and they look at the old man and say, are you satisfied? He is going to go investigate and find out if you're telling the truth or not. And the old man's like, I am telling the truth, I swear. Please believe me, right? And the guards say, sir, please go back to your home and stop scaring the townsfolk, right? The old man, he looks at you, right, for an answer. Like, brother, what should we do?
Yes.
Should I continue to warn the folk of down to leave? It is for their own safety and for their own good.
I know, brother, I know. But be logical here. Nobody here has seen it. You have seen it in a dream. And I'm going down there to confirm if it's true.
So what should I do?
He's probably gonna.
Should I just sit around and let the people live their life as a great evil approaches? Will you not help me tell these people to leave?
Let me go check it out. If it's true, I will come back and the guards will assist us in evacuating the town.
Alright,
But I
he
need
reacts
time.
positively. He says, alright, very well. Please find out soon. Right, it says, because if you do not, this town, it will not be ready for this great evil. And lives will be lost. Right.
Of course.
With that, we're gonna go back to Bethany and Fundo. So the two of you have been at the tavern for about half an hour waiting on.
For your information.
Yeah, Odysseus, you immediately start heading back to the tavern. So Bethany and Fundo, you've been waiting for a while now. Do you want to keep waiting at the tavern or something else?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Funko would probably wait here.
Wait on your companion.
Yep, just waiting patiently, nose buried in a scroll.
For sure. Eventually, finally, 40 minutes after you left the tavern, Odysseus has returned. So Odysseus, you're back in the tavern. You never made it to your objective. You got back to the tavern with new information though.
I have some good news and some bad news.
Right, bad news first.
Bad news is we're not going mining.
Well, what's the good news then?
We're checking out if there's monsters or demons underneath the temple.
Even better. Great.
Demons. Nice.
Well, he claimed there was a great evil approaching, so I was pursuing a demon.
Who is this man claiming
A
demons?
brother, a brother of mine. Not by blood, but by faith.
Ah, a holy man. Well,
Yeah.
there should be some truth there then.
He may have lost his mind, but I would rather be on the safe side and check it, as it has happened before that men of our kind have seen things in dreams.
I'll follow your lead then.
Alright.
Alright.
I'm gonna need we need torches and some matches.
Yes.
What's a match?
A stick to light things up with.
I'm sure there was something
You mean
similar.
like a tinderbox?
Yeah, thank you.
Underbox.
Alright, so at this point, you finished your planning discussion. It sounds like your party wants to head to the markets. Would you like to head to the markets or something else?
We will head to the market to buy torches and tinder boxes.
Okay. Bethany and
Maybe some
Fumdo.
sacks or backpacks?
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't have any cash, but you know,
I would.
Yeah.
whatever you can afford. You're the one
We need to go
on this
to
expedition.
backpack.
Alright, yeah, you can trade banknotes or go into a local bank out here in town and pick up some money if you want. There is a protection fee of 10% anytime you withdraw.
I'll withdraw some money.
Okay, so you've got 565 in the bank. How much money do you want to withdraw?
I want to withdraw 40.
40? Okay, you will lose 4 from that then,
Yeah.
so you get 36. Is
That's
that fine?
fine.
Okay. Alright, you've got 42 coppers in your pouch or bag right now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, your knapsack is carrying your money. So you stuff in your knapsack, and from there you guys, your party's making their way to the markets. Bethany and Fumda, do you have any objections or further input? Odysseus seems to be leading you to the markets. Alright. If not, then yeah, we're gonna make some quick purchases. You visit a few stalls, you make some supply purchases. First off, you want a tinderbox. Who would you like to... How many tinderboxes do you want, and do you want to pass them out to any of your crew members?
I want to buy tinderbox for each person here.
Okay. So,
Yeah, thank you.
including yourself?
I will also
right.
be buying a stack for every person here.
Alright, a knapsack? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is a difference.
they don't
There's
have it
also a
already.
sack. So the sack carries more, but you have to carry it by hand. A knapsack carries a little less, but you can wear it. So do you want to buy knapsacks or sacks? Or backpacks or satchels?
The one you can wear.
The one you can wear. Okay, so a knapsack, which is pretty
Yeah.
cheap.
Yes.
Carries about 20 pounds of gear. And you want to buy a set of torches for every member in your crew?
Yes.
Alright, so if it's a or 3 knapsacks total, 3 tinderboxes total, 3 sets of torches total, it costs a total of 9 coppers for all of that.
Fine. I can pay.
We should get a 10-foot pole and a sack of sacks.
I didn't hear that. Go ahead, say that again.
We should get a 10-foot pole and a sack of sacks.
Fine, I'll buy it. Sure, why not?
Alright, a 10-foot pole and
A 10-foot pole and a stack of sacks.
a sack of sacks. Okay. How many sacks do you want?
Well, it's got to be at least 3 to be a sack of sacks. Put 2 sacks in the other sack. Yep, sack of sacks.
Alright. Very well. Who wants to carry the sack of sacks in their knapsack?
I would, but I'm weak.
Alright, so Bethany, you can carry it then. You can't carry as much as everyone else.
Yeah, and I can take the 10-foot pole as well, so I can have something to do.
Okay, the pole does have to be carried by hand everywhere you go once you set it down, unless you buy a weapon sling for it. Do you want to buy a weapon sling for it too, Odysseus? With that, she can wear it on her shoulder. Okay.
Go ahead, spend my money.
Very well. Total price came to 5 more coppers.
Okay.
Here, 28. Alright. Are there any other purchases that need to be made? Do you guys want to buy supplies like food? You haven't eaten yet, so your characters do have hunger. They haven't had any breakfast yet.
That's what that feeling was.
Right. Hunger, you know, physically, mentally draining.
How much
Right?
money do I have left?
You've got 28 coppers. If you want, you can buy everyone a meal that's that's already cooked and ready to eat. It costs 2 coppers per meal. If you want, you can also buy raw food, right, like produce and such.
No, we're buying ready meals, and then we're getting our ass in gear and go getting timber.
Okay, so yeah, for that,
Do we have any food to take with us?
you can also buy rations.
Have any what?
Food to take with us, rations?
We're not gonna be staying down there for 3 fucking days. This is an in and out.
Alright.
How long does it take to get there? I don't even know where this place is.
That's a good fucking question. He did just say the temple.
Yep, this is the campaign map, so you can. This is your campaign map, so you know there's a temple out here to the southeast.
Alright.
How many days travel?
It's roughly 4.5 miles away, so maybe a day trip, right, back and forth.
Okay.
A day back and forth. Okay, yeah.
Alright. So let's say you bought some lunch at the tavern before you headed out. That cost you 2 coppers, right? So for each meal, so you're down to 22. And let's say when you were at the markets, did you want to purchase rations or no? Rations are preserved foods, ready to eat, of course, pretty much. You can cook them if you want, but it's not necessary. They're already salted, preserved. So, do we want to purchase, make a ration purchases? Each ration is 2 coppers. You need to eat 3 rations a day.
He already said no.
No? Okay.
He already said no to that.
Alright. So, you guys had a brunch, sort of, right? So you shouldn't need to eat for a few hours. By the time this was all accomplished, I would say that the time is 9:30 now, when you can depart from down and begin your travels southeast. Are you guys good to go? Or is there anything else you need to do here in the town?
Bumdo is ready. He hopes.
Alright, so Fundom's on board, he's ready to move out. Bethany?
Let's go.
Okay, and Odysseus? Alright.
I'm with you, customer. You gotta give me a second.
Alright. So, let's just say that he is on board. right, Odysseus?
Yeah.
Okay. We're waiting on you to see if you are ready to move out. If you do want to travel...
No, we're ready. Let's go to the temple in, what, the northeast? No, not north, southeast.
Right. You will have to go northeast at first, you're correct, because you have to cross a river. This is a major river.
Alright, fair enough. We'll do that.
So you have to use this road and cross a bridge, and then you can proceed southeast into the marshes. There will be a few issues on your way there. There's a major river that divides the swamps. So, and there's no known bridges out there, right? Most people that have gone there have had to carry canoes or boats, right? Well, they usually would take the river down south and then row along the coastline and then take the river systems and the swamp creeks through the swamplands, right? If they wanted to visit that old temple. What are you guys thinking about? Do you guys want to just march there? When you get to the position, you can build rafts and then row across. It will be a lengthy expedition that way, though. So this is actually a pretty dangerous expedition, right? So, like, the caverns are easy, but this might be like hard, right?
Fuck me.
Do we have rope and axes?
Yeah.
We don't have ropes nor axes in this case of scenario.
If you want,
And I'm
Yeah.
really standing here thinking, what the fuck am I doing?
you can hire the
right.
services of a boatman, right? That can take you across the waters.
How much is a boat?
To buy it, it's pretty expensive, but to, of course, hire the services of, say, some Roman, right? They can maybe take you there, right? Let me check the price real quick. Right. Okay. So the services of a river boatman, right? He will take you along the major rivers, maybe some minor rivers to connect to the other major rivers, right? There's plenty of smaller creeks and rivers, right? That he could take you across, but yeah, you will be considered a sailor, and the hiring fee is gonna be. It's costless. Okay, so that's a one silver piece is to hire him, and then the wage per day that he will work for you is 1 or 11 copper pieces total is the daily wage. Let's see, yeah.
So the daily, I have to pay this guy 21 coppers to come with me and basically stay near the river.
If he's working you for a full day, now per hour, it's actually only about one. It's at least 1 copper, and then 1 copper per hour. So, basically, let's see. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be divided by. So his daily wage, if you were to work 10 hours in a day, or 10 hours in a day is 11 coppers. So roughly 1 copper per hour that he works for you, right? It's 1 silver to hire and 1 copper per hour.
Alright, fine, I'll fucking pay it.
Alright. So you pay the
I
hiring
give
fee,
the person...
and then depending on how many hours he's in service, you have to pay him more later, right?
Yeah.
So for now, you've hired him, costing you 10 coppers, and he takes you onto his canoe, right? It's a large canoe, right? It's about twice the size of a normal canoe. It's like a small river boat.
Yeah.
It's got paddles and such and everything, and you climb aboard, and he begins rowing you down the river, right? So naturally, it's water travel. You're not slowed by the terrain. It's up to the water speed, right? I'm gonna go over the rules real quick for water travel. How fast you can row you guys across the water. All right. So it says by boat. This is considered to be like a large canoe.
Yeah.
Alright, it's gonna be roughly moving at the rate of 18 miles a day. So that's per hour, and that's a day, so 8 hours. Okay. Days of, okay, so 18 divided by 8. It's roughly about 2 miles per hour is the speed of the canoe down the river. So if it takes you down this river to the coast here, right? It's gonna take you about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean 1 hour to get there. 2 miles per hour. So
Yeah.
it takes 1 hour to get to this position here. Let's check if anything happens on your way. Right? There's a chance of a wilderness encounter every hour.
Yeah.
Very low chance. Typically it's for a day. But we're gonna see. This is not a monster encounter. This is just an overall encounter. Alright, so not wandering monster. Wandering monster is once per day, once per 8 hours. I mean, let's see. Day's work. So yeah, safe travels along the river. After an hour passes, you make it to the coast. I have to stay. The boat, his raft, is not very good for, of course, the coast. So he has to stay very close to the shore, right? It's having trouble, but it can do the job just barely. I would say because it's not meant for, of course, it's not meant to sail out here. It moves at half speed, right? Because the waves slow you, right? It's moving the boat and it doesn't have a sail, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to row through the waves and it's going to have his speed. So now you're moving at 1 mile per hour. Fortunately, in order to connect to this major river system, right, where he can take you down some minor river systems, right?
Yeah.
Or probably actually he'll take you down some smaller rivers. He's not gonna take you to the coast. He's gonna take you down smaller rivers that connect to the major rivers. So, yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. So, he'll take you down the smaller river systems, right, that will connect to this major river. And the only issue is that smaller rivers are not as consistent. So every now and then you have to like push the boat or whatever. It's gonna have your speed since it's not a major or well-known river system.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 mile or 1 hour here to get there. Let's check if we can connect to the major river system. All right. Yep. So now it just went past. So 2 hours went past. Nothing has occurred. The time of day is 11:30 in the morning. When you get to this major river system that is flowing downstream, so it's to row upstream, and then he can start rowing downstream again. Or actually, he'll probably just once you make it to this major river, look for another smaller river system that flows into this one here, so you can move quicker. Probably take a half hour to do that. So he does that, and then takes you down the river for the rest of the way to the old temple ruin. And you're in the marshes, by the way. The surrounding territory around the river is like marshes, like trees and mud, tall grass, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a jungle almost. Alright. Lots of bugs and such. Okay, we're approaching the position. The last hour of the trip. Alright, safe travels. At 1300 or 1 p.m. you made it to a part of the river where in the far distance, not too far away, but on the horizon, among the swamps, on some high ground, you see a crumbled ruin, right? It overlooks the rest of the swamps. So you can see it's a landmark, right? Crumbled ruin on a hill, a forested hill in the midst of the swamps. You can barely see it, but the boatman points it out among the trees, right, on the hill. It's just, you can barely see that tall pillar kind of poking out from the canopies. I says from here you're gonna have to take it on foot, right? You're gonna have to march through the marshes. You'll wait here along the shore of this river, but then from here you're gonna have to be like every now and then you'll be on dry land and then back into the wetlands, right? On your way to the actual hill. Does that make sense? So you're in the swamps.
Where you go on march as mentioned.
Yeah, rowing his boat through the marshes will be very difficult. So he's gonna set set up camp along the river, right? The western side. while you guys will have to kind of march through the swamps and navigate your way all the way to the actual ruin. Make sense?
Yeah.
Alright.
It does.
Okay, so, yep. We begin our approach. And, you know, this swamps is pretty normal looking. It's the middle of summer right now. There's lots of insects, mosquitoes, and nature sounds, right? It smells like a swamp. It feels like it's very sticky and humid out here. And you just want to make a direct approach to the ruins or something else?
Direct approach.
Alright. On your way to the ruins, we're gonna see if anything occurs. Safe travels up to the ruin. They made it to the hill, heavily forested. At this point, you can just climb onto the hill and make your way toward the ruin itself, the temple, right?
Yeah.
Alright. You approach the eastern side of the temple since you're on the east, right? So you're looking west toward it. And for starters, there's 2 entry points on the eastern side of the temple, it appears.
Oh.
We can begin our delve, right? So here we are.
Yeah. Delve.
Here we go.
Right, snapping is snapped. Alright, so first entry point is here. And you can see you can see into the temple. After roughly 10 feet, it immediately begins to descend into dungeon level 2, right? From this entry point. Same with the other entrance. Both entry points of the temple immediately descend into dungeon level 2. Or it's a symbol, right? Or an idea that it should go deeper. Indication that it could get more dangerous if you approach from this entrance. So immediately descends after you decide to approach from the eastern entrances.
For a reason. Go ahead.
Alright, let's grab some tokens to represent your crew. Okay. If you see one you want, let me know. I can throw on the table for you.
Top right.
Top right, right here? Okay.
Yeah.
That's Odysseus. Okay, we need one for the other 2 now.
Some random
Okay,
thing.
Alright, that's all of them.
Yeah, I'll take the top row, third from right. Okay, looks like third from right. Yeah, that one's fine. Could be an elf.
Yep.
I guess.
I think it's from the D&D manual, maybe? It's the half elf. I'm not sure.
Let's
But yeah.
scroll up a little. A little more. A little more. I saw some more up top that I liked better. Yeah, okay, that one on the far left.
This one?
Third right, yeah. Yeah.
This one?
No, down one. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
She looks kind of magic-y.
Yeah. I can see it. Alright, so before we begin exploring, and are you guys okay with this approach, or do you want to check with the other entrances?
No arguments from Fungo.
Yeah. Like, is there anything we can see out of just?
You're standing outside the ruins. All around you is just forested trees, right? Covered in vines, because you're not in the actual marsh anymore. You're on the hill, so you got all these tall trees covered in vines, very thick, very similar to like a jungle, right? The swamp. It's very humid up here, plenty of trees, and you're standing before this ruined temple. And the thing is, you could see that originally there were like, you could tell that there was like wooden doors, right? They're all hacked apart and opened, right? So the doors would have been here, but they're open now, right? So like someone smashed their way in, they cut their way in, right? Doors are open, they're pulled open, right? Double doors.
Right, approach cautiously.
And then perhaps you want to prepare some torches and equipment before you go in, right?
I'll carry the torch while no, Bethany, didn't you have my 10 feet pole?
Yes. Yes, I have many as all of your pole.
And would you care to go in front?
Sure.
Alright. So, Odysseus, do you want to equip anything else? Like your holy symbol, or a weapon, or a scroll, or something?
Well,
Or do you want to keep your hand free, ready to grab something?
I'm free for any case of scenario, yeah.
Okay. Bethany, just the pole for now, or something else? You want to keep your hand free so you can cast a spell?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then Femdo, anything in particular you want to equip?
Yeah, so I'll just be rocking my staff, I reckon.
Alright. You guys want to try that north entrance or that south entrance first?
Let's try the north entrance first.
Alright, we've got 10 feet of light, 10 feet of dim. Okay. You begin exploring into the temple with Bethany in the front, right? Do you want to do single file, or how do you want to explore into the temple?
I'll go in the middle.
Alright, so Femdo takes at the
Bring
rear.
up the rear.
Gotta go. The first 20 feet or so of the temple ruin is clear. The stairs descend down into a vast chamber that continues southwest. Would you like to proceed, or something else?
Pokey pokey those stairs for sure.
Right. Pole is prodding against the floor, the stairs. Nothing occurs, fortunately.
We'll continue onwards.
Right.
Down the stairs.
So we're continuing down these stairs, and as we're exploring, you can see that the temple floor, it is
Yeah.
covered in dry grass, like reeds and dried grass. Maybe it was like swampy at some point down here, but mostly it's like vines and reeds and all that, right? It's kind of wet here and there, right? So very heavily vegetated floor, I suppose, right? But like it's like not as dense as the outside, naturally. So grassy temple floor. I'll annotate this as well. It is important.
Well, continue on. Oh, yeah.
Something to annotate. So alright. I'll put that there just so you know moving forward. All right. So exploring in, and so far it seems pretty clear. Nothing major yet. We have among the grassy temple floor to the southwest immediately. Um, you can see some skeletal remains actually. So there are skeletal remains here. I'll annotate this.
Those skeletal remains, are they just bare bones, or do they look like they're kitted?
Uh, they're somewhat tattered, like tattered cloth around it. Can you spell it? I'm not sure how to spell tattered. Okay, but yeah, it's like tattered garb around the skeletal remains. Maybe it was like clothing at one point or a robe. Not sure. Right. It's covered in grass and wetness, but you can tell that there are bones sticking out from there, right? Like a human's remains at that area. Yeah. Right. To the west and the south still, it's clear, right? It's just grassy floor there. How do you want to explore west, southwest, or south from here?
Southwest.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that entry took place at 1:30. So you entered at 1:30, by the way.
Fine.
I'm gonna annotate this. The torch lit, or I'm gonna write it here actually. So torch was lit at 1:30, right? So 13:30. All right. And you said south, right? Explore to the south?
Southwest.
Southwest. Okay, so directly into the expanse, right? Approaching the prodding the floor. With Bethany prodding the floor, and you're prodding toward the skeletal remain, when suddenly, from the floor, these large floor spikes shoot up, right, where the skeletal remain was, right? Just shoot up. It's about like a dozen or so spikes shoot up in that area, so this area is trapped. Whoever's that person was probably the victim of the trap, right? So it's a trap here.
Get me without that.
About a dozen spikes shot up from the floor, right as you poked at it. Poke down on the floor, the spikes that shoot up from that, right? The floor goes in, the spikes shoot up. And then you release the, if you release the pressure on the panel here, the spikes go back down naturally. It's like a spring. Alright.
Alright, don't step there.
Yeah, noted.
Yeah, there's vines in the walls, there's grass on the floor. In this temple, right? Ruin. How would you like to proceed? Southwest still or something else? Oh yeah, by the way, there's some treasure among the skeletal remain. You can see that the skeletal remain is tattered and such, but it is holding onto a sack, right? And you can see in the sack, spilled out, is various pieces of holy treasure or relics, right? Like maybe like a few candle holders and such, right? Right, the various metals like brass and copper.
Can I drag it out with the pole?
Cool.
Give me a minute.
Sure, you kind of push. You can push on it. You can drag on it. If you drag on it, you can kind of like scoop it toward you, right? I suppose it'll take a turn. Is that fine? You don't have a hook, so okay. It's under the remain, so you try to push the skeletal remain over, and then carefully scoop it toward you, right, with your pole. Is Bethany's doing this? Do you guys want to stand guard, or do you want to explore further, or something else? It's gonna take her some time, right? She's busy.
Yeah, I'd like to listen for any sounds.
Okay, you're carefully listening. If there's anything in the area, there's a chance you might hear it. Right? So, you want to stand toward the south or the west as you listen, right? For noises.
I'll probably want to go south.
Okay, you listen toward the south. Odysseus, what would you like to do in the meantime? Just stand watch or something else?
Alright, I'm back. So you're trying to get the sack with holy relics out of here, yeah?
She is, yeah. He's listening toward the south.
I'll listen towards the, west.
Okay. A turn shall pass then.
And stand there so we still have light.
And typically every 2 turns, there's a chance for an encounter, right? Down here in the temple ruins, typically whenever it's populated by potential monsters, and you've heard the rumors. This is a evil temple ruin. Right.
Yeah, that's
sealed
why
off many years ago, right, by the people of people who came to settle these lands, right? This evil temple was explored, sealed off when it proved to be too dangerous to clear. But now it's been reopened, apparently, right? And you're inside, looking around for any signs of monsters, right? Trying to maybe escape, as the old man foretold. You can see that the western wall does continue, or the north wall does continue toward the west. It looks pretty clear so far, nothing major. Just grassy floor and vine-covered walls. Yeah, this area here, mostly clear. There's something along the wall here, apparently. Appears to be some kind of appears to be some kind of manuscript hanging on the wall here. Okay, it's an old manuscript, barely hanging on the wall. You can tell that there's actually remnants of manuscripts along these walls here too, but they're rotted away. This one's the only one that's still there, right? So there's remnants of manuscripts hanging from these walls here, but they're all like molded or, you know, trashed, right? Like they're ripped and torn. This one is actually in good condition, right? Further into the further away from the stairs and the wetness of the swamps, right? Anyway, let's see if we heard anything while Bethany was busy scooping the treasure toward your crew. As she does this, of course, the spikes will every now and then shoot up and shoot back down, causing some noise, which increases the chances of an encounter. I'd say I would raise it by a 2 in 6 chance for an encounter. Though you listen toward the south, you're able to hear quite well. It gives you an indication of what might be to the south. As you were carefully listening, you managed to hear in the distance something out there, right? A safe distance of roughly maybe 60 feet out. It doesn't sound like it's in the same room as your crew, but you did hear some strange noises 60 feet out, right, while you're listening, aside from the standard noises of the cave or the temple run, which seem to be mosquitoes, the torch burning, and every now and then water dripping, right? You hear a different sound to the south. Indicates some kind of creature living out there, right? Somewhere deeper in the south side of the temple ruin. It sounded similar to just like scampering feet and squeaking, right? So that might indicate some type of mammal, right, or something.
Mammal.
Or animal, right?
I'd like to inform my party of what I hear. Sounds like there's some sort of critter, at the very least, down south, maybe around 60 feet from us.
As Fandel made these observations and heard these noises and explained what he was hearing to your crew, Odysseus will check if you heard anything as well. And this time, and you did not hear anything particular of interest. We'll also check for wandering monsters. There's a 2 in 6 chance. Alright. Both men who are listening are on watch and able to react, so you can't be surprised you're on watch, I would say. So, but Bethany could be surprised. It depends on the distance. Let's check for surprise real quick. Monster's not surprised. Our crew is surprised, excited. So Bethany is surprised, but Odysseus and Famdo aren't because they're on watch. So you're watching out to the southwest, and before you know it, whatever was there was danger close because they rolled. There was a surprise roll. Either side, as long as one side is surprised, the encounter distance is close, right? I'm gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be 10 feet away when you realize it's here, right? It's like at the edge of your light when you finally realize it's here. Naturally, you probably could assume what kind of creature approached without making much noise, right? Odysseus and Famdo, you were carefully observing, and you realize that you're not alone anymore. Something has finally arrived in the midst of Bethany's looting, right? Bethany, you were halfway through your looting, you got half the treasure on your side when suddenly Famdo and Odysseus maybe take action and you're not exactly ready. You're in the middle of something, right? When they suddenly move strangely, right? Or there's perhaps an attack. So Bethany, yeah, you're surprised. They're not. Let me see how many you're encountering real quick.
What are we encountering exactly?
Something very quiet and very dead. Yeah.
Very dead. Oh,
Yeah.
holy King Spirit, do something about this.
Alright, we've got 3d4 appearing. Number appearing is 6, so we're outnumbered heavily, right? They double our numbers, which is bad. There you go. The distance was 10 feet, so you weren't able to hear them, but you were able to see them and react accordingly. Both of you were on watch, so you weren't surprised. Skeletal soldier, footmen, right? Soldiers and footmen approach your position, carrying shields and spears, right? Odysseus, you have your first turn. What do you want to do?
I'll take out my holy symbol and begin casting Turn Undead.
Alright, and Bethany is surprised. And Famdo, what action would you like to take for this first combat round?
These are undead. I wonder whether they'll be susceptible to sleep. I doubt that.
Yeah, you might
Can I
already know.
attempt to cast?
You want to try it anyway? You know in the description, you know how your spell works. It doesn't typically work against undead.
Against undead, yeah. I guess then I'm going to hang back with my staff.
Yeah, here's the spell of yours right here. Sleep. It says it here, right? The undead cannot be put to sleep.
Elves. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to hang back with my staff.
Alright.
I don't have any other option, really.
You just have your staff ready. They are advancing. So, I'll show you the combat procedure real quick. We're in our first combat finally. It's nice. Get some action. Let's see. Combat sequence. Alright. There's our combat sequence. Alright. There we go. Alright. Combat round is 10 seconds. And all actions, movements, dialogues occur simultaneously throughout the round. To start, I'll be checking the morale and describing to you the situation you're in, which I've already done, right? You're standing before 6 skeletons, Bethany surprised, Odysseus and Famdo, you were on watch. From there, you all chose your actions, if you could. Bethany was surprised, so she's trying to, of course, get ready, but she was in the midst of something, right? While this event occurred, this first combat round. But the other two have chosen their actions, right? Odysseus will be trying to use Turn Undead. Famdo will be at the ready with his staff, right? So, ready to attack, right? Then we'll determine the initiative and results and changes as necessary, right? So what they chose to do was, of course, carefully advance as a cohesive unit to stab at you with their spears. 3 and 3 here, right? So their spears have a reach of 10 feet or 7 feet roughly, so maybe up to 2 squares almost, right? So they're advancing, and as they
Come on,
approach,
Ethan. You know he can move into that trap area to get in range with a spear.
right, they know that's there. The spirits are possessed and dead, animated. The undead, of course, or monsters don't typically know, or they don't typically trigger their own traps. You can, I of course logically let you to make them do that if you're able to force them into a trap, but the undead usually, or monsters usually know where their traps are. Let's see. All right, then. So this is you're casting a turn undead on them. Let's see if it works. Okay, do you want me to roll, or do you want to use the bot or something else? This is a very crucial roll right now.
Go ahead and roll.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, they got a 7. Okay, so that is barely a pass. Now we gotta roll to see how many hit dice worth of these skeletons you're able to turn away. 7.
Okay, barely a pass. It's still
So
pass.
you pray to your god, and before they close the distance, right? Suddenly there's a spiritual energy that fills the chamber, right? You can feel the power of your god, right? He forces them back, right? You see all of them suddenly are almost like as if they're blinded by some force, right? And they're forced to kind of stagger back from it, right? They're staggered. They're starting to withdraw. Looks like raise their shields and carefully start to withdraw into the shadows, right? As they start to back off, Famdo, do you want to hold the position, or do you want to charge them, or something else? You were at the ready.
No, I'm just going to hold my position, cover Bethany.
All right. So technically, the combat has immediately ended, right? Because if no side is attacking anymore, right, they're not attacking. Does your party plan to attack? If not, then there's no more combat.
That's fine.
Okay. So the undead have withdrawn. They have retreated deeper into the dungeon, right? So you survive your first encounter. Nice. And Bethany, you can finish looting.
That was a
And you
close
guys,
one.
yeah, that was close.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I think maybe that's enough to confirm that the temple is open and we have seen undead monsters right inside the entrance. So maybe our mission is done and we should go report.
Right. You can report back to
Oh,
town.
by the
at
way,
this
we
point.
have these treasures.
Yes. The treasure is scooped up.
Okay, we need to get out of here. We don't have time for this.
Okay. So it's total of so far, the count is 60 copper so far. And let's see if anything else. Alright, and 3 silvers in the sack. It was a small sack of treasure. And we'll check for anything else. Yeah, that's not high enough or low enough. Alright, close, but not quite. Alright, yeah, you scooped up the treasure. 63 coins in there, or not coins, but pieces of various metals, right? So pieces represent all kinds of trinkets of valuable metal, right? Whether they're coins, whether they're little rings or jewelry or whatever. There are only 63 pieces of it. 3 are silver ones, 60 are copper ones or brass or something, right, of equivalence. So Botany's carrying the loot. Actually, this is a pretty good haul, actually. So, not the worst. You scare off the undead. Do you guys want to back out, or do you guys want to go deeper?
Let's get the fuck out of here while we're still alive.
Makes sense
I
to me.
suggest that we quickly scout the other entrances, if any, to see if they're also open and maybe we see monsters coming out of them, so we can give a full report.
Yeah. Basically what Bethany just said.
Okay. Alright. That's fine. I will also have to state that the experience system that we got, right? It's a very small experience system, kind of, but you need it a lot to get the 1 XP. It's 1 gold per XP. Some monsters are only worth half. I think each of those skeletons are worth 1 XP if you kill them, right? I'm just gonna let you know now. This is a decent treasure for, you know, a raid recently, but it's not enough to get anyone any experience yet. Are you alright with this, or do you want to try to go deeper and get more treasure and more kills? It's pretty risky with only a
I
crew of
think we
3.
should report.
We should report back. We've done our
yeah.
duty.
Alright, do you want to scout out that south area still, or do you just want to treat? With this money, you can better arm your crew, though. Right, so you can actually take on some risk. Alright, so what's the plan?
Well, definitely equip it.
Withdraw? Alright, yeah, we can do a retreat. We can probably restock in town. If you want, you can come back. Cause my game sessions, they're limited to, of course, 1 hour per player. So if there's 3 players, I can typically will run the game for 3 hours usually. So, or as long as everyone's able to, right? So maximum time, of course, is 3, typically with 3 players. So we're only about an hour and a half in actually. We start at 9 o'clock. It's 10:30 at my time at least. So, well, we'll probably take a small break right now. Send your crew out. When you get back from your break, we'll do the journey back to town. You can resupply, and if you want, you can do a second delve, right? We've got plenty of time still.
Cool.
Alright, let's take a small break. 5 minutes. Okay. I'll see you all in 5.
What you can do with 1 HP.
We need more than bows. We need several of the men.
Okay, so how do we go about getting those men? Bodyguards, essentially. I'll be back.
Alright, guys. It's been 5 minutes, so hopefully that was long enough of a break for you all. Total money that was acquired was roughly 90 coppers worth, so I think 3 ways is fine, right? If you all want, we'll do 3 ways, 30 coppers each.
That's fine by me.
Odysseus, do you agree?
Fine by me.
Equal splits. Alright,
If
Bethany.
you don't mind, I'll buy the pole and the sack of sacks from you.
You can do that, yeah.
Alright, so you can pay him back for that, I suppose.
Oh, I could pay for the tinderbox and the bundle of torches as well.
Right, that would be, let's see. Sack of sacks 3, knapsack was 1, tinderbox torches another 2, and the pole was 2 as well because I had a sling on it. So total price was 8 coppers if you want to pay him back.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright.
These add those items to my sheet when you have time.
Okay, let's begin our travels back to base town, right, I suppose. Unless you want to go to a different one, but down's the closest one, right? Naturally, you weren't in there too long, and you left town around, I think, was it like 11:30 or something? 10:30?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the sooner you get back to town, the less money you have to pay out to the your boatman, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So, you get back to the boatman at around... So you got out of there, and you divided your treasure across 10 minutes, and you walked through the marshes back to your boatman. It's roughly a 10-minute march. And then you began your travels back upstream, so halve your speed, going upstream through the major river. From here to here, it's roughly 2 miles, or 1.5. That's more like 2. So about 2 miles north. That's 1 mile an hour rate, so it took you 2 hours to get to this point here. Let's check if there were any wilderness encounters. Safe travels up the river. From here, we're gonna go up a minor river and upstream as well. So we'll say the speed now is no longer half. It's now like at 25% speed. So very slow, right? So instead of 1 mile an hour, it's half a mile an hour, roughly. Taking out, you're gonna use this smaller river system to just get to the major river system, right? And that's gonna be roughly 1 mile here. So it took you about 2 hours to get back to this major river system. So that's 2 hours right there. So a long shift today. We did start work late, but we also are ending work late, I guess, too. 2 more hours went past. Let's check for any encounters. That's also a day's travel. So, okay, we'll do have some encounters. Let's check for any monster encounters. There was also a monster encounter at this point. So late in the evening, there were 2 smaller encounters. Let's see if there were, if anything interesting. One was just not very interesting. It was probably you just noticed on the river that there's some ducks, right, in the distance. So potentially you can hunt. And then of course at some point along the minor river system, there was some trouble. Basically, we got into a bit of a setback here. Not the monster exactly, but as you were moving up the creek, it started raining heavily, actually, which maybe makes the water deeper, but makes it more treacherous to row, right? So it actually slows us down even more. So we got even slower when it started to rain really hard. The water started moving faster downstream, so it got even more intense.
To help in row.
You could, yeah, you can help him row. You have been helping him row, for the most part.
Okay.
Wherever the rows can be rowed, right? So you helped him row, of course, through this tough event, and Also, while it was raining heavily and you were slowed heavily, there was a monster encounter as well. We're gonna see what kind. This takes place in the grasslands. Grassland encounter. So let's see what we get. Pull up a chart.
Tiny lizard man.
Hopefully not, but actually this is a river encounter technically, so it's on its own separate table actually. Alright, we'll just use a generator. This one should work. Okay. Alright. Number appearing is 1 to 4. So let's see. Just 1. And let's see if we're surprised. We are not surprised. It is surprised. So technically we can evade it. But as we are rowing up the stream, this dense rain, we notice along the shoreline this massive water beast. It's just kind of like trying to escape the intensity of the water. He's latched onto maybe the shore, or actually he might be munching on some prey, right? You're like moving up the stream, and you can see something has fallen victim to this thing. He's like munching on an alligator or something, right? Some type of unknown carcass, right? He's just munching along the river, the shore, and it appears to be this massive worm of sorts, this watery leech, right? It's a giant leech. It's very long. It's about 3 to 4 feet long. Actually, nah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna say that's about 3 to 4 yards long. That makes more sense for something with 6 hit dice. So it's about 3 to 4 yards long. It's a huge giant leech, right? You never seen anything as big as it. It's about 9 to 12 feet long leech, just chewing at some carcass. It's huge, right? Now it's busy doing that, so you can just pass it by. Do you guys want to interact with it, or you want to move on? Roll past it.
I don't know, how much salt do we have?
You want to assault it?
Salt.
Salt, if you bought rations, you might have salty food. Yeah, it is weak against salt, that technically is true. Probably would deal, like, damage, like fire damage or something. It would melt, burn. We do not bring salt with us, sadly. So.
Probably avoid that, though. Yeah, let's just avoid it.
Avoid it.
Yep.
We get the XP for avoiding it, right?
Nope. Sadly, no. Just an encounter. Alright. Up the stream, or up the river now. We made it to the river finally. And, the time of day is now 6 p.m. Going up this river is at half speed because we're moving upstream. I'm gonna say 1 mile an hour roughly, and down is about 2 miles away. At this point, you're gonna have to take it by foot because you hired the boatman at the bridge. There's like a dock there, a harbor, a small little river harbor thing, whatever, right? So he's gonna take you there, and that's where you're gonna make your payment to the boatman. It's 2 miles up. Should take you, of course, 2 hours to get there. Checking for encounters. Alright. Another delay. So it just continues heavily storming, right? So therefore, because of that delay, it took us an extra hour. Because it took us an extra 2 hours actually. So the storm rages on. It's a heavy rainstorm this summer month, right? Therefore, we have to roll. All that meant right there was that it just takes us even longer to get there, to get to the harbor. Another chance for more encounters. Let's see. Alright, finally we get there. But not until 10 p.m. So it's hella late. And that's almost the evening shift, so we gotta do a wandering monster check too. 1 in 6 chance. Alright. Safe travels, fortunately. So we managed to get to the harbor finally at 2200 hours. Therefore, payment is 11 hours worth of payment because he worked for you for roughly 11 hours today. through the rainstorm, got you to the harbor. You owe the boatman 11 coppers. If you want to divide this up equally, I'd say maybe 3 coppers each. Or I meant 4 coppers each, one of you will pay 3. So, I'd say maybe the poorest member of the crew will pay 3, right? So Bethany, you should pay 3.
Yeah.
And the others will pay 4 to pay the boatman off.
Yeah. Fair.
Alright. And with that, you depart. If you ever want to meet this boatman again, he has a pretty good deal for you, right? So, your boatman, he does have a name. Let's see. Alright.
His name is Ron.
His name is Merritt. So,
Alright.
if you ever want to
Alright.
see him again, we've got Merritt the boatman, right? Works at Downs Harbor. So, I'll put it in your notes.
His name's Carl Ron.
Alright. With that, you'll finish up the
Carl
trip
Ronson.
half a mile out to down from the river. This should only take you about... let's see, your party's rate of movement is medium footman speed, I suppose, right? It's an average medium footman, so 2 miles an hour. If it's only half an hour away, it should only take you about 30 minutes to get back to down, I think, or 15 minutes to get back to down. Alright, so you're back in down. You made it back to town at time of roughly... Oops. I'd say 22:20. You make it back to down. So it's 10:20 p.m. Your characters are heavily exhausted. You have the hunger penalty, you have the tired penalty, and you have the morale penalty because you did not have any free time today. You did not sleep, or you've been working all day. You did like a forced march basically on the boat though, and of course you ate nothing during your adventure, right? You ate before, but you did not eat dinner at all, right? You only ate 1 meal today out of the 3 meals you're supposed to eat. So, as soon as you get back to down, you can stop by the tavern and fill your bellies with some food. If you want a delicious meal tonight, and if you want to make up for the food that you missed,
I offered the boatman a meal with us.
the boatman's at the harbor. You already left your crew.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. So, to wrap it up, unless there's anything else you guys want to do, I'm just going to sum up the situation here. You guys might want to get some food. Does that sound alright with you? Or you want to try something else as a party?
I wouldn't
Bellies.
mind getting some food and getting a bow and some arrows.
Alright, we can't do any shopping right now because it's night. All the stores are
Nice.
closed. The
Go to
tavern.
fucking bed. Or get dinner.
Yep. So there's 3 issues we've got for your crew. Besides exhaustion, you've got your crew is demoralized, hunger, and tired, right? So you're in great pain. So to fix it, you'll need to buy a meal first, costing 2 coppers each at the tavern. So now you're fed. You're no longer hungry. It took let's say, how long did you want to eat dinner for? Food takes 10 minutes to cook up, let's say, right? Eating takes roughly 10 minutes if you want to be fast, at least one turn, right? So if you want, we'll just take you to 2,300 hours, and that was like your dinner period.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
Okay, so you finish dinner around 11 p.m. at night. And now we only have 2 issues remaining. You're demoralized, and you're exhausted, right? So to fix your morale, you can entertain your crew, right? Various entertainments are
And
available.
karaoke.
Yep, karaoke is fine if you want to do that for an hour. You can also drink. Drinking is really good too, right? How would you guys like to fix your morale?
I would
I
like,
wouldn't mind
I like
drinks.
the drinking idea. Let's do that.
Drinking? Okay. So, you go get yourself a tankard and a pitcher of ale. Cost only 1 copper. If you want a tankard of, not ale, but beer. It's cheap alcohol, right? Ale is a little more expensive. So do you want beer or do you want ale? Odysseus, what beverage, what alcoholic beverage would you like?
Ale. I'm still going with ale.
Mm-hmm. All right, and it probably got you drunk near the end of it, right? Or at least buzzed, for sure, on average. Pitcher of ale, several servings, and then Bethany wanted to sing at the tavern tonight. Based on your charisma, that determines how good you can sing, I suppose. So you start singing, let's say, at the fire to help your morale. And depending on the crowd's reaction, that can naturally singing can help your morale alone. But if you really wanted to make your morale good, you need a good reaction, right? Let's see if the crowd likes your singing tonight. You sing for the crowd. Anything in particular you sing to tonight as you walk into the tavern, exhausted from your expedition, after your delicious dinner?
Oh, it's late. It's late, so I'll sing a lullaby.
You start to sing a lullaby for the tavern folk that are still awake around, and you get a very good reaction. The crowd overall likes it, enjoys it, listens, right? And your morale is recovered because of that. In addition, you now are welcome to sing at the tavern, right? The innkeeper sees you sing really well, a short lullaby for the night. People, of course, listen, applaud you. Famdo, how would you like to enjoy your how would you like your character to enjoy himself tonight?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a pitcher of beer.
Okay.
Let's start with that.
All right. So now your crew's the beer, of course, is not as strong as the ale, but definitely already recovered your morale. That's all you needed, just a nice cold beer. So you all have been recovered, morale-wise, and the last thing you need before you end this night is, of course, some sleep. You need a fine lodging. If you want, you can head over to the inn.
Before that,
Yeah.
Before that, I probably should contact the guard as I promised I would.
Right. That same guard in particular, you probably won't be able to find right now at this time of the night.
That's fine, but I'll go look for him in the morning then.
Alright, so for accommodations, or lodging, there's the local inn, naturally, and basically it's the price for it is 3 coppers for a single room, single night stay. So breakfast is included with it. If you want a double room, it's 5 coppers. If you want they also have so they have a double single bedroom, which is 5 coppers, and they also have like a 2-person bedroom, right? So 1 bed, but it's for 2. That one costs about 5 as well. They have a 1 bedroom that has 2 large beds. That one costs 7. And they also have a master bedroom. A master bedroom has like 1 large bed, and then of course a lot of various accommodations inside. They only have 1 master bedroom at the end. So if you want to rent that one out, no one's renting it right now. But they've got 2 double bedrooms. They've got, about 2 single but double bedrooms. They've got several single bedrooms as well. So it's just 3 coppers a night at the end though for one person, pretty much overall. It's probably what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, we'd save 2 coppers getting a single room with 2 double beds, because it's 7 coppers. Whereas
Yeah.
if we each got our own room, it'd be 9 coppers.
Yeah. So final option, of course, is
Your
there's
turn.
a Porter Inn. If you want to visit it, it's a hostel. It's not an inn. It's like more of a hostel. It's like shared accommodation, right? So just rows of beds. That is really cheap. If you want to be a really cheap, it only costs 1 copper a night there. You get 1 bed. If you want breakfast, it costs an extra copper, so it's 2 coppers. But if you're just trying to get a very cheap accommodation, like a roof over your head and a bed, you can go to the hostel, and it costs only 1 copper. Naturally, privacy is not a lot of privacy there though, and not a lot of storage either or anything like that. So what do you guys want to do for
Yeah, I
accommodation
don't
tonight?
mind sharing the room.
Just a single room?
I don't mind sharing the room at the Better Inn.
The one with 2 double beds.
2 double beds. That one
7
cost
coppers.
7 coppers. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, right? So, all right. So you get that one, the double bed, right? It's got 2 large beds. The large beds can fit 2 people on it, right? So it's a pretty good deal overall. But you don't have privacy naturally. If you're, it's more like for a family, right? Like mom, dad, and the kids. So that's what that kind of room is like. So you get that one, 2 double beds, and you all can sleep. I guess Bethany will have her own. Odysseus and Fundo you can share.
Yeah, that's fine.
Costing 7. Who would like to pay for the night?
I don't know
I'll
if
pay.
I have money for it anymore.
You've got
Okay.
42 coppers Odysseus. You've got 17 Bethany. You've got 24 Fundo. We can do.
Yeah, I can pay for it.
Okay, you want to pay for it on your own, or should we do 3, 3, and 2? I mean, 2, 2, and 3. One of you pays 3.
Either way is fine with me.
Okay. Alright, Fundo will just pay for it then. I've got 17 coppers left. Alright, so yes, pours Bethany now. Okay. With that, you get breakfast in the morning too. It's pretty good. You know, you wake up to breakfast brought to your room. We've got toast and jam, sausages, and then of course scrambled eggs. And then your choice of drink. They brought you a pitcher of milk, a pot of tea, and and of course like a small thing of a pitcher of water as well. Yeah, cold water, cold milk, and a pot of tea for your breakfast. And then 3 cups, of course, each of you. All right. So let's say you got sleep now. It's the next day. Let's say you got 8 hours of sleep then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At 7:30 in the morning, you woke up. You had breakfast. It should only take you about, if you want to be fast, at least 10 minutes. But typically, if you want to enjoy yourself, I'd say 20 minutes to eat, right? And then 10 minutes to wash up, get ready for the day. So work starts at 8. So it's 8 o'clock. You've washed, you've eaten, you've packed your gear. You're ready to head out. So you guys want to end the adventure, or do you guys want to try to adventure a little longer? Because technically we haven't made any experience yet, but we did make profit, right? You guys trying to get some kills or something?
I'm happy to try, but it's up to the rest of the guys.
No, I think this will be enough for me tonight.
Okay.
Alrighty, I think that seals it.
Yeah, fair.
Thank you for playing, everyone, and have a good night.
Thanks
Good night.
everybody.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Ciao.